Okay, we are live. We got the green light, green light, green light. We're good to go. Everybody, my name is Bezad.
I'm Risa.
And we're here from Naked and Famous Denim. And today we're going to be telling you all the exciting new details of the live stream. We're live streaming today from Yokohama, Japan. Mm-hmm. It's our weekly live stream. You guys, if you're already here, you probably know what it's all about. If you're new here, you're going to find out what it's all about. We're going to talk about denim. We're going to talk about denim. We're going to talk about denim. Rant time, probably something else. Who knows? But you know who's going to know?
You's going to know.
That's right. So stick around all the way to the end of this live stream. We're going to kick it off. We're going to check in with the chat. We're going to see what's going on here. We're going to talk to you guys about all the incredible, amazing things that are going on right now that you might not be aware of. You probably are because you guys are here in the live stream. Let me tell you, this is the most dedicated crowd in the entire raw denim world. And we're going to get into it. Okay. Checking in with the chat. We've got Mouse. First chat of the day. Literally, as I was writing my note to say what inseam I wanted, it sold out in the size I wanted. Oof, didn't even seem like 1 minute passed before it sold out.
You're probably talking about JoJo's release today.
Earlier today.
For us, it's last night. So
right.
Feels like
just a couple hours ago.
Yeah, but
we did the release. We took a nap. We're back here to chat it up with you guys. Yeah, a lot of the JoJo stuff went. Giorno went fast, kind of as expected. But guys, if you're in America and you're looking for Giorno, I mentioned it on the live streams before. I mentioned it in the emails. Our New York City store does not get the same kind of traffic as Tate and Yoko. And guess what? Head over to New York website right now. You still have some options here in Giorno. Whereas over at Tate and Yoko, Giorno's gone. I mean, Giorno is practically gone. We have one size 31 left in the weird guy, a size 42 in the true guy. They're gone. You know, sizes here as well. Jolene, they're mostly gone. They probably won't last that much longer. But New York, we don't get the same kind of traffic. So if you're looking for something, if these are your sizes, go to the New York site right now. Get it. You will have an opportunity to grab that one. So just be aware of that. Just another friendly reminder about the New York City store.
It is Naked and Famous Denim NYC.com.
That's it.
You can go from our nakedandfamousdenim.com, go to New York shop or whatever link that's at the top.
Yeah.
About New York, and then go from that page too.
That's it. So hopefully you were able to land the pair you wanted. I'm sure there are some folks who, they tried their best. They tried their hardest to grab it. Maybe they missed out. Maybe this is a new, new information for them. With the New York site, check it out. Size up one, if anything. One size up is not gonna hurt you. Wearing a little big is okay, especially as guys.
Yeah, it might even help you.
Yeah, so definitely keep that one in mind. I'm just gonna adjust the light here a little bit. There we go. All right, what else is going on in the chat? Snuff Spoon, right? They have Giorno on the New York City website. Good eye. Yeah, you're on. You're with it. Freddie Gonzalez writes, can't wait for the big Slub 2. The King of Slub 2 is coming before the end of the year, so that's it. That's another one. Alex Wu. Wow, the chat moved fast. What's going on? Alex Wu, hi from T. Dot. Welcome. Managed to get the Giornos this morning in Easy Guy. A one-piece collab would be an amazing future collab. I like this one every now and then comes up in the chat, but long
series,
like 600, 1,000, 15,000 episode animes that I've not watched. Can't do the collab for it. I cannot consume.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Watching it is, it just takes so much of time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's impossible. we don't have the time to consume all. Like JoJo's was long, but like wasn't that long. It was long, but not that long compared to
One Piece
or Naruto or like series like that.
I don't know. I think One Piece is.
It's like the longest one.
It's the longest one out there.
Yeah. So, I would say that it's easy if we just wanted to slap, some images. It's like if you, there's companies that make anime products and it's like, here's, because when you do these things, they give you like these graphic assets. And, if you're just taking a graphic asset and sticking it on a t-shirt, no problem. And you don't have to explain anything. But like, we want to make products that are very, very specific, very niche. And I'm going to have to understand what I'm doing in order to do it. So I don't think that's not one for me.
Yeah, it's just, none of us are into it. So it's hard to like go from no knowledge to understanding it so deeply that we can build the gene based off of it.
That's it. So I appreciate it. There will probably be some other anime style-ish collabs in the future, but yeah, we'll see. One step at a time. It took us 2 years, a little more than 2 years, to get this JoJo from like first contact, not even a little bit longer than that, till now.
2 years since like we already had an agreement.
Right. So
'cause 2 years ago we already had access to like assets and stuff. So that's a long time. That's a long time.
Okay, I'm the chat's moving very fast today. Thank you, everybody. Pierre Moreau in the house. Hello from Guelph, Ontario. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you here. Philip Edgezak. I saw a rumor that the stretch elephants aren't continuing in the future spring-summer collections. Is that true? It is true for the moment. It doesn't mean it will be like that forever. The stretches were a test. And they did okay, but when we do these things, there are certain minimums that we need to hit with the factory. And
especially with, there was a lot of difficulties with making stretch denim that are that heavy. There isn't that much demand for it. People are not so, So it wasn't,
Yeah.
Not that it did bad. It just, it was one of those things where like, is it worth the struggle? Because it's so much harder to make 20 ounce stretch denim than it is to make 20 ounce 100% cotton.
Yeah. And so if you're into the stretch elephants, I would suggest there's still Elephant 11S available. Grab those. Maybe pick up a pair for your inventory for later. I can't say when we'll do another one. I'm not saying it's not going to happen ever again, but for the moment, it's going to be...
Not going to be every spring thing.
Yeah. All right. Vitaly, hello from Colorado. Wore my Jotaros for the first time today. That's right. Fantastic. Nice. I would say that by now, many of them are probably hitting, being delivered to everybody. So, enjoy them, my friend. You're one of few lucky people who are able to get the Jotaros. The Toaster Pilot, hello from Wisconsin. Hello. The Toaster Pilot. Okay. BD, resting the old back in my MIJ7s and my Wonder Looper hoodie, strapped in for the stream from the Niagara region.
That's a lot of cotton you're wearing.
There's a lot of cotton. Resting your back. I hope you are able to rest well. Sounds like you had a hard day. WG, hey guys, welcome. Invis Ian's DC is in the house. Nice to see everybody here. Okay, I'm gonna scroll down. So if I missed your comment, something, say it again. I just don't want to be so far back. Philip Edgezak with the collaboration idea of the century, the John Cena jorts. Yep.
Yeah, they don't look so cool. They can make it cool.
John Cena can make anything look cool. So we just need...
No, he's wearing those jorts and it doesn't look cool.
No, he looks great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, agree to disagree.
I'm down with it. Let me just give him a call and let's see what we can do. Oh, right. Okay. Sorry. Jordan writes, Castlevania NES collab. Well, it doesn't have to just be the NES. I am a big Castlevania fan. Everybody, welcome Snowy to the chat. Is he going to take a seat on one of our laps? Maybe. There we go. I am a big Castlevania fan. I have I don't know, I wouldn't say all of them, but I own a lot of Castlevania games. I do enjoy a good Metroidvania style game. I could see us doing Castlevania. Here's my thing with Castlevania, is that I don't know, like Simon Belmont, Alucard.
I don't know what you're talking.
You don't. It's okay. Those I think are like the key characters. Although like Simon isn't featured in like most of the games, and all the like main characters. I think you have to be really into like Castlevania lore to be into the other characters. Even Alucard. I mean, I guess Alucard people will know a little bit more, but I don't know what that would be.
It could just be like you could just do the game as a gene. Like it will be like one gene. You know.
Yeah, thing. I don't know. I don't know. I'm down. I'm down though. That's a good idea. Castlevania. I mean, there's a lot of iconography from that series that, you know, I think it even just spans. It's more appealing than just the game. You know, Dracula and all that stuff. The gothic style could be kind of cool. Jordan writes, the Netflix series is great too. I haven't watched it. There's a Castlevania like anime. Yeah. Clobber Online. Mega Man X would be class. Yeah, Mega Man in general I think could be something. There's a lot of characters there. Yeah. Video games. We'll see what we can do with video games. I am trying, like we had that discussion last week about Godzilla. We're trying. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm making moves. No contacts yet, but we're trying to make some moves here. So hopefully we can make that happen, and then we'll get. I think it's just like kaiju, like not like a couple of Godzillas and a couple of monsters, and that'll be that.
That would be very like I don't know. It feels right.
Yeah.
That combo.
Yeah.
Just, you know, heavyweight jeans, hardcore rigid jeans.
Yeah.
With, you know.
Everything will be hardcore. Like there will be nothing in there that isn't like heavy and slubby. It'll just be like a big old monster mash in there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy. Another monster series that could just be cool, or like the Universal monsters. So like I mean we do a Frankenstein denim, but if we did like a Bela Lugosi, like Dracula, or like Bride of Frankenstein would be kind of cool. Like Creature from the Black Lagoon, the Mummy, like those, the Wolfman, like those could be kind of cool.
Yeah. School monsters.
Yeah. So that could be another series. I think if we wanted to do a full collection of like, you know, something like that. It would be a Halloween thing. Yeah, like Halloween is like I just feel like it's like we've always just done one gene, and so
yeah, that's okay because it's like yeah,
it might have to be like a year after year thing.
Yeah,
but it might lose. I don't know. It's kind of like I feel like that is better as a collection rather than like if you're to do it every year. I feel like at some point it's gonna lose steam.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, and certain monsters are probably not as popular.
Right.
I don't
know.
But like the popularity of character doesn't necessarily translate directly into popularity of the fabrics.
No,
so.
The fabric sometimes can speak on its own. Yeah, that's true. Snuff Spoon with the correct comment. Real life serial killer denim is a terrible idea. Yes.
That is a horrible idea.
It's a horrible idea.
No, we're not doing that.
It's not. I'm not interested in that at all. Yeah, that's.
Okay, we know you're here, Snowy.
Okay. He really wants to be on air today.
Yeah, he wants to promote his
new denim. You're right. We should talk more about the snowy denim. We will. Yeah. We'll get into that, son. Snuff Spoon, Disney collab would be awesome. My girlfriend would love it. Yeah. Disney, I don't know what we would do for Disney. Like, Disney. It's kind of like Snoopy. Like, I like Snoopy. I like Peanuts characters. I like all that old school graphics and stuff. I just don't know what I would do with it in denim form.
Yeah, because it doesn't, like, soft, white, goopy dog is longer than, like, I don't know. So, anyhow, we'll, what will we do with Disney?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I like it. I just don't know how to, action on that, right?
Mm-hmm. And also, like, it would be very complicated to do, like, different movies from Disney.
Right.
Like, maybe we'll focus on one at a time, or I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works.
Pending new name. On the topic of Disney, what about Star Wars? Yeah, Star Wars is something.
I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
That's a very big monster to tackle, but.
Yeah, but you know the beauty of Star Wars is, you know, there are a lot of beloved characters there, so you can, you know, even if you miss some, there's still enough that you can build a collection around, like, you know, certain characters that people are always going to enjoy. Obviously, there's colors and themes that really play well into making jeans, especially the way we do it. So I would like to do Star Wars at some point. Star Wars would be great. I say X-Men probably almost every week now.
X-Men sounds like the best like option.
Because X-Men, the Jim Lee era X-Men, those graphics would look so amazing on a leather patch. Like, just the way it's drawn, it'll come out so beautifully on the leather patch, and obviously the colors, the characters would look great. There's just and
they have so much like variants of like different powers and different features.
Yeah. So all that can really be tied into denim.
It would be very interesting.
Yeah. So I would love to do that. X-Men 97 Wolverine, like the yellow and blue, yellow and black. Although I would still like to do like the brown and orange, you know, Wolverine, like the 80s one. I think that if I were to do a hidden character in that whole series, I'll tell you this right now, it'll be old school Wolverine.
Wow.
Yeah.
The secret's ruined.
Yeah, the secret's out. But you'll just have to remember this live stream. KMX loved the Jim Lee Cyclops design. Yeah, with that like chiseled chin, he looks great. Everybody had chiseled chins in that one.
Speaking of chins.
Yeah, chins.
You revealed your chin.
I revealed my chin. I shaved. It's been a while. I
bet some people are wondering what makes you look different today.
Well, there you go.
It's been a long time.
It's been a while. Wait, somebody says, Alex, the fact he knows Jim. Who Jim Lee is. Nice. Sorry, I'm not sure what you mean by that. That I'm aware of Jim, or somebody in here knows Jim. That would be something that's going on. I don't know him. I would like to. Rights W5, Doctor Who, Darvos, Selvedge, Dalek Selvedge, and Cyberman Selvedge. I'm going to go with maybe characters that might be a little more well-known. You know, the thing about X-Men and even just Marvel in general and superheroes in general, there are a lot of characters.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, hopefully, sometimes they make movies, and I'm like, who is this? And, like, I grew up with comic books, and I especially loved collecting, like, Marvel cards. So you learn a lot of characters through that. And sometimes I'm just like, who are these people? I don't know them. I've never seen them. But yeah, if it's gonna be something, if this is ever gonna happen, it will be. There won't be too many like really niche characters in the mix. Yeah.
Yeah, unless we're making like so many jeans, like you gotta hit the top hits.
Yeah, right. Like there will be no silver samurai denim. Like it's just right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just how.
Yeah.
It would. Yeah.
Okay.
But like how you talked about, like if we ever do Pokemon collab, then we would have to do all 100 whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, but we're gonna sell like 5. We're gonna sell 5, mostly in 5 characters.
Yeah, right.
The rest is just there.
Yeah, it's like I'm sure. I would love to see like Nintendo's stats on like their merch sales, where it's like 80% goes to Pikachu,
right?
And then like the original like Bulbasaur, Charmander,
Mew,
Mew,
would be popular,
right? Yeah. Eevee, and then everything else is like fractions of 1%, right? That's just that's just the way it is.
Well, Nintendo fraction of 1% is still relatively large,
right?
But
yeah.
For us, it's...
Brainster, what? No Cypher X-Men denim? Yeah, no Cypher X-Men. There will be no X-Men 2099. There will be a lot of, there won't be a lot of crazy random ones. The most random one would be, like a old school Wolverine or like a different colorway of a popular character. Yeah. Like I wouldn't like.
It's still like
it would be Magneto, Wolverine, Cyclops, probably a Psylocke.
I can't.
Yeah.
Who? Iceman? No.
Like I don't know. It does. Do we have to have?
Oh, what was that? What is the
Mystique?
name? No. Can you name all the things?
All the X-Men?
No. Okay, what did you say already?
Cyclops. Wolverine, Psylocke, Magneto. I said Mystique.
What's the one from like
Colossus?
More like a super like thick Hulk looking, like a mini Hulk looking one that's gray.
Colossus maybe.
Oh. Okay.
He's like the metal one.
No, he's not metal. He was in like the latest X-Men movie that I watched, which you probably watched.
The Deadpool one?
Maybe. Was
it I think Colossus was in that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He was small in the movie because Colossus is pretty big in the comic books. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm confused.
Anyways, Juggernaut?
Juggernaut.
Oh, yeah. Juggernaut. Yeah,
Juggernaut.
I would do Juggernaut just because, like, as villains... I don't know if anyone remembers those old YouTube videos of the Juggernaut. I'm the Juggernaut, B. I can't swear. I can swear, but I'm not going to swear. Joy Decay. From Chicago on my way to my union meeting in my UB 22-ounce kitty pocket circular knit slub nep rinse denim easy shirt, amber heavyweight zip up, and upstate stock Naked and Famous Denim recycled too. Well, you've got a great uniform for your meeting today, Joey. Thanks for checking in. Good to see you, my friend.
Kitty pocket tee.
Kitty pocket tee. That's a good one. Invis Ian's X-Men Arcade. Yeah, prepare to die. Prepare to die. The X-Men Arcade machine had notoriously bad English. Yeah. Fun game.
I can relate.
Yeah. You can relate? You can relate. Yes, the most famous line from X-Men 3. I'm the Juggernaut B was actually pulled, like that line was pulled from like these guys who would voice over like X-Men cartoons. They also did like some Power Ranger ones. I think it was Fensler Films. They did the G.I. Joe PSAs and they just, voiced over them all with like crazy nonsense. Very, very funny stuff. This is like early internet humor. Early internet, like the 2010s-ish, maybe a little earlier. Jeremy Didson, Wolverine, Cyclops, Beast, Iceman, Phoenix. Phoenix would be good. Yeah. Oh my God. Phoenix would be great. That would be a hidden character too. Sorry, guys. I'm telling you all the hidden characters. Yeah. So anyways, X-Men, Godzilla. Those are the big ones I'd really like to have done. So we'll see. Toon writes, I think X-Men might be the most lame superhero group, them or Fantastic Four. Okay. I mean, you have the right to your own opinion. I'm just trying to fix the lighting here. It's a little bright in my camera here, so hold on a second.
Should you do a Professor X gene? That could also be a hidden character.
Professor X? Maybe. Hold on. Does that do anything? Ugh, that's terrible. Sorry guys, my lighting situation isn't always great because we got to deal with natural light, and natural light is the worst.
Natural light.
Yeah. Hopefully it's okay, not overexposed. Let me know if it's all right for you. Okay. A lot of X-Men talk. Some people like it. One person doesn't seem to like it. That's okay. We don't all have to like everything. Okay. Joel Farrell, can you show the Raised by Wolves collab now that you've hinted at something on IG? Yes. We will show that one off today. That was the gene that I didn't show off last week, but I talked to the Raised by Wolves guys since then, and we've got the okay to show it off. So we're going to be showing that one off today. We're going to be showing off a couple of the previews that we showed off last week. Just in case you missed last week's episode, we're going to go over some of those ones again. And then I also wanted to talk, I know that we had tentatively, planned Elvira coming out for Friday the 13th, but it seems that my production has not fully arrived yet. So that one's likely going to get pushed. It might get pushed to the 20th. It might get pushed to the 27th. I keep hearing a bunch of different things from my factory warehouse people. So yeah, I don't have a definitive answer for you. It was supposed to be here all today at the latest. Yeah. It did not happen.
As far as we know.
As far as we know. But
it's a lot of mystery that goes on here. Yeah. But we don't believe that it's ready to go until we see it in our warehouse. Yeah. So that's the problem. And we'll keep you guys posted.
Yes, because sometimes my delivery schedule will say one thing and then it doesn't happen. So we just tend to not trust it until goods are physically in our hands. So anyhow, production schedules change a lot. Things change a lot. So we'll keep you posted. You guys, we haven't done the formal announcement yet, but you guys are in the mix. So you get to see the things change in real time, basically. So bear with us. We'll have some more information on Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, soon. Pedro writes, question for the both of you. Do you feel that Elvira Jean will sell out somewhat quick? I'm going to say yes.
Yeah. We're not going to have that many quantities either, I think.
No, it's like, I think between the four fits, like 300 pairs, something like that.
So certain sizes may sell out very quickly.
Yeah.
It's not like overnight it's all gone kind of thing, I don't think.
I don't know. I think this one's going to go fast. I think every time we've done a horror-themed jean, it was gone.
But it's also like this fabric is very cool. Like even if you're not into Elvira, it's pretty cool fabric.
Yeah. Based on Giorno, purple weft, there's another purple weft option.
Yeah.
So I think
tonal stitching, it's lubby.
Yeah. We'll show it off a little bit more today, but yeah, I get the feeling that it's gonna go. I remember when it was Jason was gone, like Friday the 13th.
Yeah, but I could have told that was going to be...
Yeah. So, we'll... if you want it, be there at release time. And pro tip, New York City website. New York City website. New York City website. Just remember that. New York City website. If you're in America and you pretty much want to guarantee you get one, New York City website. Even when we were, like, this morning, when we were publishing the products, it's just, like, the traffic difference is, like, 90%.
Yeah.
Like...
As you can imagine, I mean, not everybody even knows about this website. So I think people who are, like, really live stream crowd community are the only ones, maybe, who are shopping there. Yeah.
Parker Madison writes, how rigid is the Elvira denim? My wife likes the way it looks, but was worried about the weight. The heaviest she has is a 14 ounce. I mean, if you can handle 14, I think you can handle 16. And if you're worried about the weight, or the rigidness,
rinse it.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Just wash the starch out, you'll be fine. It'll all be gone. No more rigidness. Moose 44, is the Elephant 12 in True Guy canceled? It is not canceled. It's just not on my production schedule. So there's still a bunch of things that aren't on my schedule yet. But they have not been canceled yet. I don't think we'll cancel this one. But I will keep you posted. I will harass my production team.
Speaking of harassing,
we
I don't know what happened to it.
I'm just gonna say something. Speaking of harassing, I don't know. We had a couple of harassing style customer service emails lately. Not that I think it's any of you, or maybe it is one of you. You know, you get nowhere. You really get I have to say, I get the sense that there are a few lonely people out there who just, they're reaching, right? They're just reaching for someone to talk to or someone to talk down to. And, sometimes these people are reoccurring. Like, they'll be, I've seen, like, the email chain, and it's like, they're there, and they're just obnoxious and rude and nasty. And I see our responses are generally, like, pretty nice. And then by the end of it, it's like, oh, okay, whatever. And then, like, 4 months later, it's, again, another, like, similar spiral of this. Don't do it. Just don't do that. I don't know if maybe you're not even aware that you're behaving that way, but we can clearly see the chat history, and it's not nice. And sometimes my guys will message me and be like, "What do I do?" I'm like, for some folks, I just say don't engage, just don't even respond to them. And like if you get a not response from us, maybe it's because you're being nasty. So don't do it. And if you have a problem, that's a real problem, that is something that we can fix, then we will try to fix it. I'm also going to go with, Anyway, I don't want to go, there was another problem this week that I thought I'm going to go into it, because it's too specific. It's really going to name the person. Anyways, I'm not going to, but don't steal from us. Stealing's bad. And and filing false chargebacks. Yes.
Filing for false chargeback is theft.
Yeah.
It's like, people might not feel that way, but it is exactly the same as taking a jean and not paying for it and taking it out of the store.
Yeah. Just because you paid for it, it's like...
because you paid for it and then retract your money, then you're stealing still.
Yeah. Derek Grad, good to see you. But back to rant time. It's like leaving a bad check. Right? If you leave a bad check, knowingly leaving a bad check, that's what you did. So
it's a crime.
Every now and then, people do it, and they do it for the most ridiculous reasons. Look, if you received a defective good, we will take it back. It's not a problem. Mm-hmm. Right? But you receiving a defective good and then not wanting to return it, what do you want me to do? Right? What do you want me to do? Say, the hem came undone. You got it and the hem wasn't done properly. So we say, okay, send it back. Here's a return label. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Oh, well, why should I have to return it back? I have to go and take my time to return it and do... I'm like what? Yes. Yeah, this is just part of normal commerce. Like, if you went to the store and bought pots and pans and it was missing a lid, right? You know, you bought the set. Like, is it a problem to go back to the store and be like, hey, it didn't come with the thing? And oh, sorry, here's a new one, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And I know that it's annoying. I know that sometimes it's annoying to have to do that. Yeah. But you do that because, you know, it's just sometimes you're unlucky.
That's just how commerce works.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, that doesn't...
You don't win the lottery. It's not a lottery win when there's something off about a product.
Yeah.
Right? You're not entitled to all of your money back, plus you get to keep the item. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah. And it's one of those things that if you're nice to us and if this unfortunate thing happened to your purchase, then we would make it right. We would try and, you know, maybe like offer something a little extra or something. Like, we don't want you to have a bad experience. That's not our aim. Yeah. It's just that if you come at us with like a very aggressive tone, we don't want to go like we're humans, so we're not gonna go, you know, out of our way to make this experience extra special for you. Like, at that point we're like, okay, well, you know, we're gonna deal with it, obviously, but we're not gonna, you know, like, just, you know, we're not gonna be best friends.
Yeah. So there are some people who are legit, like, oh, I got it. It's, you know, there's a problem with it.
Yeah.
You know, what can I do? You know, there are some people who are genuinely in a tough spot, right?
And I understand that.
And we'll work with you. But there are some people who just feel like they're like, I just won the lottery.
Yes.
This is the lottery for me. And not only am I, you know, not only have I been, what's the word I'm thinking of? It's like inconvenienced. Like, oh, I bought this thing. It's not exactly as I anticipated. I've been inconvenienced, so you owe me even more now. And it's just like, oh, well, what are you gonna do? You're gonna pay for my cab to go to the FedEx house? I'm like, no, FedEx they'll pick it up. You just gotta call them. And it's like you have to explain all these little things. Like, no, you don't need to go anywhere. You can schedule a pickup. You just give them a call. And it's like, well, I'm working. I got all this time. I'm like, you're just trying to find every excuse to be as unpleasant as possible in this situation. And I really despise you. I'm going to say it right now. I don't want you as a customer. I really don't. Go buy jeans somewhere else. If that's your behavior.
Yeah. And I know there's like these kind of like, you know, people out there that are just like, oh, like if I complain and if I get upset enough, I get everything that I want. And, you know, like we don't want you to feel like you can't complain when there's something wrong that we did. That like you're more than welcome to bring it up. Of course you can tell us and, you know, like work something out. But if you're just being unreasonable, just thinking that you can get something extra out of us, we can see that. We can see right through that. And we don't like that. Like that kind of attitude is not something that we want to deal with.
And also, we usually win the chargeback. Like, so I don't know if you guys know how the process works. It's like somebody will make some claim to their credit card, and then we have to like dispute it. So we just have to like write, you know, a small little email to dispute the claim and provide, you know, reasons why we're not wrong. And we usually win. And then when we win and you have that defective item, we don't help you anymore. You're done.
Of course.
You're done.
And you're blocked from buying from us again.
Yeah. So you get blocked. We don't sell to you anymore. We win the chargeback. We keep the money, which in essence means, you know, if you received a defective good, well, then we got paid full price for it. Thank you very much. So you played yourself. And yeah, if you're a scumbag who likes pulling that.
Yeah. The best way to get a lot of things out of us that you may not really you may not be entitled to is being nice about it. Like if you're super duper nice, we do go out of our ways to help you.
Yeah.
And that's a pro tip. Like even if you're like furious inside, just be nice to us.
Yeah, just be nice to us. Vitaly, Naked and Famous has amazing customer service. Garrett made a phone call to make sure I know the knife sheath I ordered doesn't fit the knife I ordered. Mishaps happen. Yeah, we really do try our best. Yeah. We really do. We're not some evil corporation who's trying to steal your money. And I'm going to say it, and this is going to sound maybe a little nasty, but I feel like the people who are the nastiest in this respect are the people who probably shouldn't be spending that much money on clothes. And I'm going to say, you know why? Because I feel like they feel like, hey, I spent this much money on clothes, like, and I'm like, no, this is actually kind of a normal amount, right? If you're buying jeans of this level, this is what they cost, right?
Well, I think
so you're uncomfortable that you've spent this much money on a piece of clothing that isn't, delivered with white gloves, and you think you're going to get the Rolls Royce experience, and it's like, these are jeans that are hardcore, right? They rip, they fade. Like sometimes you get someone who's like, they snagged their jeans or something like that, or like they faded in a weird way, and they're like, oh, they're ruined. I'm like, this isn't for you, man.
Yeah.
This
you missed the whole point.
Yeah. Like, what do you want me to tell you? It's like, I've been wearing my jeans, the same pair every day for 3 months, and there's a hole starting to form. I'm like, repeat what you said. I wore the same jeans for 3 months, and a hole is starting to form. I'm like, try that with any other piece of clothing. Try that even with your sneakers. Every single day, you're not going to find a hole in your shoe. Like, how many, I'm like, try that with a t-shirt. Mm-hmm. Try that with it. Wear the same t-shirt without washing it every day for 3 months and tell me you don't find a hole in it.
Yeah, or stains, or
Yeah. It's just bizarre.
Discoloration.
So I just generally feel like there are some people who spend the money, they know they're treating themselves, right? Mm-hmm. But then there are some people who I feel are like, maybe they're a little out of their league in this respect, and they're, because they're not comfortable at spending that much money on something, that their expectations of it is just, if it wasn't $25 from, the big box store, like everything else is like, I'm buying like a Learjet here. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not the case. And even if it was, when I worked at Holt Renfrew, our general manager, like, we'd have to deal with all kinds of weird customer complaints. And you would get these customers who came in and they're like, well, I bought this silk top. It was $3,000 and, something ran on it and blah, blah, blah. And our response was, you bought the most delicate fabric, most beautiful, delicate fabric in the world. And you're complaining to me that it was delicate.
Yeah.
Like there's things we can help you with, and then there's things that we cannot help you with.
Yeah.
And so
I think you're right in the way that these people who complain about that, they weren't really like, well, first of all, they didn't get the point, but also they probably thought it was overpriced.
Maybe.
So that, overpriced things should at least come with good service. But we don't sell anything that's really overpriced. Like we like our value is all in the products, and we don't charge you for good service.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that's the disconnect, Yeah. And if you think that our products are overpriced, then please don't buy it, because the money that we put in is all in the products.
Yeah.
And we want to help you, but we can't change how you feel about our products.
Yeah.
Really.
Like, I don't want to tell people not to shop with us, but there are some people
who's more trouble than
they're more trouble than they're worth. That's for sure. Yeah. And
It's made from cotton. Just because it's more expensive doesn't mean that it's less, prone to rips and whatever than other things.
My favorite is when they compare it to like some other pair of jeans that they're like, I've had these other jeans for 7 years, and I'm like,
that's very common actually.
That's great. I mean, I have I have jeans in my collection that I've had for 15, 20 years that have never seen a hole or a rip because I've never worn them. The time you own a jean doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
How much time have you worn the jean?
Yeah, but also, like, if you are, wearing your jeans on the couch, inside a home versus if you went out hiking and, walked around bushes for a minute, like, there's other things that could happen to the jeans. Even if you wore it the same amount of time, doesn't mean it's like, you talk about the cars, if it doesn't matter if you crash on the day 1 or day 200,000, it's
200,000. It's a couple of years. But yeah, no, you're right. Like if you buy a Ferrari, you saved all your money. Okay? And you're like, I'm going to make a very bad purchasing decision and spend all of my money on this Ferrari. I have no savings left. This is it. This is what I saved up for. Bought a brand new red Ferrari. I'm going to go to the club. I'm going to pick up a girl tonight. Let's go. And then on your way to said club, you crashed the car because, I don't know. You're just whatever for whatever reason. I was gonna make up something, but anyhow, something bad happened. Your fault, 100%.
Yeah.
Ferrari doesn't take your car back. Ferrari's not like, oh yeah.
It's only been a day, so we're gonna help you. No, that's not.
It's like I haven't even put 10 miles on it, and I had my Toyota Corolla, which I drove to the Ferrari dealership. I've had that for 15 years.
Yeah, and it never dented. Because I didn't crash it.
Yeah, Ferrari will say, cool story, bro. Or like the Apple store. Like, when you bring in a phone with a cracked screen, they're not like, oh yeah, definitely shouldn't have done that. They're like, yeah. You got Apple Care?
You drop it.
No? Okay, well, it's $800 to fix this screen on your $1,500 phone that you bought yesterday. They will charge you. And like everyone is... I'm sure I don't know how many Apple Store people we got working here. I'm sure some people freak out, and their response is like, "What do you mean? I only dropped it once." And they're like,
"Yeah, you shouldn't have done that.
You dropped something that was made of glass on the ground. That it happens. It's strong glass. Maybe I don't know.
I think they would get like more people who are upset than It's just like they're dealing with.
Yeah, they're dealing with trillions of people. Yeah. There's not trillions of people, but they're dealing with a lot, for sure. But, yeah, it's just, I think in the chat people get it. And if you are in the chat and you're learning about this stuff for the first time, well, good. You're getting it. You're going to learn. Yeah, be nice. And I guess maybe it's because it's the time of year, like, it's the fall. We've got more customers. More customers means more customer interaction. So maybe there's just been a couple of ones that have really popped up on my radar recently. But yeah, there were some wild ones this week, and Anyways, I think our guys handled it very well. So if you're salty about the response we gave you. Let me just pour a little more salt on there, and there you go. That's be as salty as you want. Don't talk to our guys like that. Okay. Jeremy Didson, you played yourself vulgar 16-ounce True Guy denim. That'd be kind of funny if we had a stream with you played yourself. I do enjoy when people play themselves. It is really just the sweetest revenge where it's like, well, you just didn't have to talk to us like that, and things would have worked out your way, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's so easy to fake niceness over the email too. Like
that's it, guys. Here's what you do: you write your nasty email. Okay, write it as nasty and as bad as you want. Get it out of your system. And then copy it and paste it into ChatGPT and say, can you make this sound nice? And then you vent all of your frustration out, and then ChatGPT makes it nice for you. So it's not even your words, you know what I mean? Like, you didn't have to write the nice words. And then you paste it and you send it to an email to us, and then we're responding to the nice person that isn't you. So you can still be nasty, you can be as nasty as you want, but then maybe you'll get your way. Maybe. There's a pro tip for you nasty folks out there. Not that there is any in the chat here, because you guys are all the nicest people in the world. But yeah, like I saw a couple people with customer service experience in the chat, and it's like it's absolutely true. Sometimes we deal with some wild situations.
But I also understand that like maybe sometimes when like you're dealing with a big volume, like the squeaky wheel does get the, or like like if you complain to the death, they will decide like, okay, it's not worth it for us to fight back, or have this really salty person leaving review all over the internet. So they would like like they will kind of like do whatever you ask, and I know that happens sometimes. But I think we all just kind of have to stand our ground and just be like, you know what? No.
Yeah.
We don't accept this. We don't like negotiate with terrorists kind of attitude.
But the problem is that they do negotiate with terrorists. The government, they say
the governments do, but we don't have to,
Stay away, terrorists. We're not negotiating. Denim terrorists. Nicholas Brandon writes, I have grown out of my tatamis. They're folded up on my dresser. I did this. Crying face. It happens.
Yeah.
Nicholas writes, they're 28s. I quit smoking and gained weight. Won't even go past the hamstring. LOL. Never dried. You know what? You quit smoking, so that's more important. And the other thing is, look, good for you for quitting smoking, but the reality is, I was a 28 too. We all, men, we just grow.
And he doesn't even drink. He doesn't smoke, so he didn't quit smoking.
Yeah. I don't eat. I used to be a soda fiend. I'm really not. I drink basically sugarless drinks. If I have 2 Coca-Colas in a month, that's the most. Like I really avoid all that stuff.
And you don't eat so much cereal anymore.
No, I'm pretty good.
Yeah,
but even despite that, you just get bigger. So my suggestion is buy jeans a little bigger. You'll get more life out of them that way. You really will. I think I was on Reddit the other day. I was just passing through. I haven't posted there in a long time, but sometimes I go in there just to see what's up. And somebody was posting like a fit pic, and like the jeans look good. And somebody wrote, if this was a couple years ago, everybody in this chat would tell you that they're perfect. But he's like, I think they look a little slim. Something to that effect. And I'm like, yep. A couple years ago, that would have been like, oh, you nailed it. 100% perfect. Nowadays, some people will be like, you could probably size up a little bit. And I'm glad that that's happening a lot more. Even if you see on the website, like, that's your perfect size, once, like, going up a little bit, well, it'll still fit you. Going up too much,
Right.
Right. You don't want the jeans to fall off your butt, but if they're hanging off your hips, you're still probably okay.
Yeah. There's belts.
Yeah. And then you got room. You got room to grow. And if you're anything like our Google Analytics say you are, which is our audience, you're a male between 25 and 55. And that's the demographic for which you grow, generally. Just saying.
Not everybody.
Yeah. Before 25, I was pretty stable. After that, things started going, start getting bigger for me.
I think you also can look at your parents and see what the trajectory is going to be.
That's true.
I think that's pretty genetic too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Johnny G writes, I wear 34 waist on Levi's. Should I size up for JoJo jeans? What you should do, Johnny, measure those jeans. Measure the jeans that you own, because your 34 waist Levi's doesn't really tell me a whole lot, because depending on the fit, depending on the fabrication, depending on the weight of the garment, that 34 that they tell you the tag size, when you measure it, it might be a 36, it might be a 37. So measure them, then compare those measurements to the measurements on our product page. So we have a tag size. It'll say 34, but the actual measurement of it might be something else. So measure your jeans, then compare them to the size chart and compare measurements. That way you're comparing apples to apples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And shop from websites that have the actual measurements and not just like a generic, table of this is sizing. Like, you can't really trust that.
Yeah.
So
there you go. If you need help with sizing, give our guys Atate and Yoko a call, or Naked Famous Denim NYC a call, and we'll be happy to walk you through it. But we also have that video where we show you how to use the measurement guide. Use that. If you follow measurements and you shop from stores that post actual measurements, you will have a good time. You will have a good ride, and if you're not sure, get them a little bit bigger, just a touch.
Yeah, a little bit bigger is always best because one of the most common questions is that, like, oh, will this shrink? Will this shrink? And it's like, unless it's written that it's unsanforized denim, all of our jeans are sanforized, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't shrink at all. Any 100% cotton garment will shrink a little bit, and we can't tell you how much it's going to shrink because it really depends on a lot of things, and we cannot give you a number. So the idea is that even if it shrinks a little bit, you should be able to wear it. That's the size you want. You don't want to go for the smallest size that you can fit into.
Yeah. Oh, I see Carl Morowski is in the chat. Everybody, say hello to Carl.
Hey, Carl.
He's the boss. Carl's the boss.
I saw him in the Boots Throw.
Yeah, that was a great film, great video.
Yeah.
So, Carl Morowski, if you guys don't know, you guys should know, but he does great menswear, workwear, boot, denim, everything, flannel related content. I think he's the top guy. He's the top dog. He's the alpha.
Seems that way.
Yeah, Carl, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you here in our chat. Glad to have your presence here. Okay, here's interesting. Jovi Adobe writes, Levi is also usually unsanforized. Naked and Famous is usually sanforized, so keep that in mind too. Incorrect. Levi's is usually sanforized. Naked and Famous Denim is usually sanforized. 99.99% of the world's jeans are sanforized.
And
really, like, I have to say, this is a different rant, but anytime we get an email, somebody asking us if our jeans are unsanforized, I know that they don't know a lot about denim. Mm-hmm. That is the number one question that will tell me you don't know a lot, which is fair. I don't expect everyone to know everything, but I feel like that's a question that comes up mostly when you're just starting to learn about raw denim, and it doesn't come from it really, it's like when I see that question, I'm like, we gotta be careful with this customer and make sure they know what they're buying, because that is someone who doesn't know what's happening right now. Mm-hmm. Because all of, like, when I say all, I mean like 99.9999% of the world's denim is sanforized. It is all pre-shrunk. You don't have to worry about 10% or more shrinkage. If a jean is unsanforized, it is always written big. It'll tell you these are going to shrink. Mm-hmm. They're going to warn you for that. So just be aware.
Denim brands who don't have that, like, this is unsanforized warning or maniacs. Like, I don't think they exist, but if they do exist, like, they're like, oh yeah, all our jeans are unsanforized. We never said they were unsanforized. Then they're just insane.
Jovi's follow-up. Levi's raw denim is usually unsanforized. I was referring to their shrink to fit. Yes, only their shrink to fit models, but raw denim doesn't necessarily mean unsanforized. Raw denim can be sanforized. I will even go far as to say that raw denim can be one wash. Yeah. One wash, rinse, wash. So if it's a shrink to fit model, obviously it's unsanforized.
Shrink to fit is another word for unsanforized.
Yeah.
So they are.
They are the same. But raw denim isn't necessarily unsanforized. Even in the world of raw denim, the vast majority of it is sanforized. Now, oftentimes nowadays, it is popular to take an unsanforized model and then do like a one wash to remove the shrink.
Yeah, a lot of Japanese brands do that.
Yeah.
Our Made in Japan collection does that.
We do that so it removes the confusion from the customer. I would say that like a decade ago, unsanforized, that was the hardcore trend for the raw denim community. Oh, it has to be unsanforized. And guess what? Even for like the hardcore denim guys, it's annoying. It really, like the guessing game, it's maybe interesting to experience once or twice, but it's not always, you're not always going to win. And, when you spend that much money on a pair of jeans, you want to win, and you can't turn around and say, hey, they shrunk too much or they shrunk too little. The amount that your jeans are going to shrink in unsanforized form is like up to 10%, maybe more, maybe a little bit less. It ain't a science. So one pair might shrink a little bit more than another pair. It's just the way it is. Your washing machine, the heat, all that stuff, it's all different. So very, very, very tough with the unsanforized stuff.
Yeah.
If you're getting into it, expect the unexpected and live for the unexpected. Do not feel like this is gonna be, you have to appreciate the imperfection in what you're about to experience.
Mm-hmm. And I think back in the days when jeans were generally unsanforized, like those are decades and decades ago, people did go towards like very comfortably fitting to relatively like fit it. So it's like you can't expect to be like, it's gonna shrink 1 inch, so I'm gonna just have myself an inch of room in the waist or whatever. Like that's a very dangerous game. It wouldn't work like that. You have to be able to have it really, really big in the beginning.
Yeah.
Maybe too big for you to wear without washing kind of size, and then you work your way down. Regardless, it's a gamble.
Yeah.
You should be able to feel like maybe you will lose this gamble if you're willing to do that.
Yeah. Or you just wear them big. And like they're big and they're going to be big.
Yeah. So if you would veer towards the larger, even if your expectation isn't correct, you still be able to wear it. But either way, yes, if there's no warning sign that says that this is unsanforized or this is shrink to fit, then that means that it is sanforized. Don't even worry about that.
Yeah. Spencer Thompson writes, to be fair, there are some YouTubers and forum posters who mistakenly claim all your denim is unsanforized. Well, they would be very wrong, and they would fall into the category of, I don't know a lot about denim.
Yeah.
I will put them right there.
If you watch some kind of videos like that, maybe correct them in the comment section. I think this is a community effort to, have the correct information out there.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll see a video where I've done it. Like, people are talking about raw denim. I think maybe some creators might find me annoying. But, like, because... like,
you don't want bad information out there, though.
But, like I'll see a video and they're saying something about raw denim, and I'm like, no. That is very wrong. And I'll, like, write an essay in the comments. And, like, I'm not attacking them. I'm really not. I'm just saying, oh no, there's some misconceptions. I just want to, correct it and make sure. And I always edit. I'm like, if you're talking about raw denim and you're not sure about something, you want to learn more, ask me. I'm happy to hop on a call. If you are doing a raw denim related content for your YouTube channel and you want to,
Because we understand that it's very difficult for a regular person to learn about things. Because if it's like just an online research, there could be bad information you're working with. So we want the insider. We do have insider view. We've been in this industry for a long time, so we want to share that.
Yeah. So So there you have it.
Yeah.
Dr. Cactus writes, not related to shrinking per se, but can I expect your denim jacket sleeves to shorten a bit from the fabric creasing at the elbows? Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. That should be doable. It's also doable if you're not taking in much. It's not the worst alteration.
To shorten the sleeves?
Yeah, to shorten the sleeves.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
It's possible, like, because there's this much amount of room, like, you're not going to move the cuff all the way down here, but if you take this to a tailor, they're going to open up this seam right here. They're going to chop off a little bit of the fabric, and they can move the cuff down a little bit. How much is that going to cost you? Maybe $40.
I have no clue.
Yeah, something like that. I'm trying to remember back from my Holt Renfrew days, how much an alteration like that would have costed.
That was back in the days when Coke was $1 though.
That's true. So, that's true. Although I remember we used to charge. Oh yeah, it was stupid. Like regular hemming was no charge. Mm-hmm. So like a basic hem. Mm-hmm. And then we do something called the European hem, which is it's the worst. I don't know why we called it European hem, but we called it a Euro hem. What do you want? You want a Euro hem on that? You want me to Euro hem those for you? And it was the worst. And we charge like $20 or $25 or something like that for that. And now, let me explain. A European hem or original hem, which wasn't a.
We called it original.
It's just so dumb. So, like, you take a jean like this, right? Like, and usually we're dealing with like washed jeans, so there was maybe a little bit more distressing on the bottom, but like this is a one-wash jean, and you can see there's a little bit of roping, there's a little bit of fading here. But if you buy some like distressed jean, maybe there's some distressing and rips and tears here as well. And what they would do is they would cut like this much of the fabric off, and then they would move it into the jean. So like the jean would end up looking like, I'm trying to picture, I have to do like a reverse fold here. Basically they do something like this. So like the inside of the jean would look something like that, and they would sew that in. And so you would have the original hemline, like stitching, you'd have all the original distressing, and you'd have like this kind of weird bump at the bottom, and it's like, yeah, I guess that like maintains it, but you know what else works? You hem it like you would normally, and then you hit it with the Dremel, and then you just do a little distressing. So at one point, I remember we had this one tailor who was like, why are we doing this? And like, and so he would just he had like a sandpaper block, and he would just do a normal, like, a normal hem, and he would just hit it with the sandpaper until it looked the way it looked. And I'm like, yeah, that's how you do that.
Yeah,
like
that's a good, like,
yeah,
I don't know, very proper way to handle it.
Yeah.
Stable mind individual.
Yeah.
But some people just don't know that.
They're just used to doing the thing that they do, and they just do it. I'm like, oh, these were awful. And sometimes they would do it on like jeans that had like a basic, like, finished hem. Like a raw jean. Like there's no distressing or anything. Like this is a one wash, so it had that little bit of puckering.
And still one European.
Yeah. And they would still do it and they do it on like a Selvedge jean, and I'm like, what is going on here? Why are you doing that? It's terrible. So, anyways,
it's like, if you're like, I know that like some alteration people sometimes do that when like it's a real vintage jeans or whatever, because like that's the authentic fade. It's not like
yes, but like you're butchering the jean also.
It's such a shame. Yeah. Such a shame.
Wait, there was Invis Ian's, I think he wrote. Oh yeah, Invis Ian's, Nordstrom did this to my Rockin' Republics back in the day. Never again. Oh yeah, the amount of Rockin' Republic jeans we did that to. The problem with the Rockin' Republics was they did like it's like this. It's like a 1/4 inch hem, It was like really, really small. And I'm like, ugh. Anyways, I sold a lot of Rocket Republic jeans back in the day. I'll tell you that much.
Still in business?
I don't know. But
we don't see that anymore.
I would say that from like 2004 till 2009, 2010, like if you were on like Bloor Street in Toronto, Yorkville, like every woman's ass was 7 Jeans, Citizen Jeans, Rocket Republic, or True Religion. And like True Religion, Rocket Republic, really, Jesus Christ, we sold a lot of those. They were on everybody. Where are all those jeans today? That's what I want to know. They're not in, like, you know, we go to a lot of thrift stores and I don't see them. Right? So are they just sitting in people's closets? I own a couple. I never bought a pair, but we would have the sales contests, and it was like, oh, if you sell however many pairs in a month or 2 weeks or whatever, you get a free pair. Because, like, you know, they wanted to make sure we were wearing it. And I would always win a bunch, and anyways, I had them, I kept them, some of them I gave away, but I remember, they had the Victoria Beckham ones with the crowns on the back pockets.
That was Victoria Beckham. I remember.
And so there was Victoria Beckham, Rockin' Republic, and then she had her own brand of jeans, which was just under Victoria Beckham. Famously, I don't know if famously, but I remember when it was like her line came out first, because we got it first at Holt Renfrew. So we had the Rockin' Republics, and then she, I guess, finished her whatever deal was with there, and then had her own brand, and they were all made in Winnipeg. Yeah, and the denim quality was not great. Like it was very poor. And very, like, the Rocket Republic denim I remember back in the day, like the denim they used was so light and thin, and then they would distress it a lot. So the amount of rips, like people would be in the change room just putting them on, and they just like, it was nuts. It was like a $400 or $500 jean.
What would you, like, when that happens?
If it was like brand new, it was, you know, we consider it a damage. It might have went like returned back to vendor or something like that. But
okay, yeah.
Adam N writes, Silver Jeans from Winnipeg. Absolutely, I'm pretty sure Silver Jeans from Winnipeg did their production, though they don't do production in Canada anymore, and they haven't for a long time, which is very sad, because Silver Jeans is the oldest existing denim brand in Canada, from Canada. They're still around. I used to wear Silver Jeans in high school. But yeah, silver. Canadian denim history. There are probably a bunch of brands back in the day that GWG, Great Western Garment Co., Silver Jeans, those are maybe the most famous of all time. GWG got bought by Levi's in the 90s, and then Levi's shut them down. And then I guess they just took over those accounts and put Levi's jeans there. But yeah, you can every now and then in Canadian thrift stores you'll come across a pair of GWGs. They had Wayne Gretzky as their spokesperson for a while. The great one.
Canadians,
yeah, absolutely. I wonder. Well, I guess Levi's owns the name, but it'd be kind of cool to do like a GWG throwback model. Yeah.
I wonder if they still own it. Like, if they're not making anything under them.
I'm sure it's just in their portfolio. But yeah, I wonder if that stuff ever, like, expires.
Yeah.
Yeah. BD is correct. Only 43 likes. Only 43 likes, but 145 current viewers. Guys, what are we doing here? Let's hit the like button right now. Hit the like button now. Let's get those like numbers up.
And then we're going to preview some.
We're going to do some previews. We're going to do some previews for you because it's about that time. It's about preview time. BD writes 100 likes and Stowie appears. All right, let's get to those numbers. Let's work on those numbers, folks.
He doesn't really care about likes.
Yeah. MC Dizzle writes, how excited are you for the new Toxic Avenger movie? They are also making a Funko Pop for it. I'm not sure if you've seen. I'm not a big Funko Pop guy. I have friends who are really, really into it.
Thank God you're not into it, because if you are, like, our house will be covered.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it. I don't like the way they look.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's an aesthetic. Yeah, I don't like it. Like I can understand why people like it, but
I got one once as a gift, and I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I just feel like it's the baby Milo. Like it's really just a ripoff of that, and now they just because there was that Bape character aesthetic that they would anytime they wanted to. Maybe they had a Pharrell one and like a verbal one. Like they just there was this design aesthetic that they would apply to like all these different people, and I'm like they just took like Japanese streetwear and they're like, oh, we'll make a toy out of it, and I'm like, anyways, I just see it as like this derivative thing that they're trying to create a collectible market for, and I don't like markets that are designed to be collector items. It just reminds me too much of Beanie Babies, and it's just like, oh, we're making, instead of like when you're specifically making limited edition product versus like we just made this much because we figured that's what the demand would be, and then it happens to be the demand is high, and then it might be sought after for those reasons. Like there's like things that are done on like very specific purpose, and then there's things that are done like that are collectible naturally.
Yeah,
and I much prefer the natural thing.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
Yeah. Funko Pops are evolved Beanie Babies and Cabbage Patch Kids. No? Yeah. Cabbage Patch, I don't think it was designed. It was just like, it's like.
Some people collected it because they love it so much.
Yeah. It just became like the hot toy of the 80s. And then everyone was like, well, that's the hot toy. I got to get it. Right? I don't think they specifically like dried the market. Yeah, they're just like, this is as much as we can make. Like, we're a toy company. Like, especially in the 80s, I don't think they really had that mentality of like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beanie Babies really, like, not ruined it, but like really, like.
It really opened up.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the 90s,
market.
Baseball cards, like, I don't know what it is about cards these days, and like every now and then I'm on Instagram and I'll get like one of these videos of like people like opening up a pack of cards, and I'm just like, that these are all worthless, right? Like you're all just like hyping each other up to be like, oh, this is a $20,000 card. I'm like, yeah, that's because you sold it to your friend for $20,000, and then he's gonna sell it back to you later for $22,000, and you're just gonna try and keep this like market inflated so that you can sell. You can sell worthless collectibles to suckers, and
then run out of that.
Yeah,
it's very not genuine. Yeah. It's very evil. I think.
Yeah, natural versus artificial collectability is like NFTs and versus real art. Yeah. Speaking of NFTs, by the way,
nobody talks about it.
How many? Oh, and I'm so. How many? Like 2 years ago, every fashion brand, every stupid influencer that I knew. Was every streetwear guy that I knew was pushing NFTs hard.
Oh, this is the future. Yeah, we're gonna sell so much.
I'm like, F you. You guys, like you took like the. I'm not gonna say they're vulnerable because whatever. Like you knew you had these collector markets, right? Like, oh, I buy sneakers as a collector. Like, you know what I mean? Like they knew they had that ingrained, and like I kept seeing them push NFTs on these people, and I'm like. Yeah, I bet you have some ties to that NFT company, or somebody gave you that thing to say. I just knew it, and all of a sudden, BD with the sirens, rant time.
It's on it.
These scumbags, and I'll call them scumbags. Where are they now? Right? Are they talking about their NFTs? Oh man, I have a $60,000 NFT. It's a great investment for me. Although it's not an investment, I'm not really giving you financial advice. I'm just telling you that for me, it's been fantastic. I've made so much money off this shit. These people were scumbags then. They're still scumbags now. And I really hope that anybody who was influential in trying to sell you NFTs or sell you on the idea of NFTs, I hope that you remember that. And so the next time they talk to you about anything, that their reputation is shot, buried in the ground. They have no right to talk to you about anything again, ever. NFTs were a scam. Everybody knew it from a mile away.
No, but I do think that there were people who were made to believe that NFT was a thing because everybody who are up there was talking about it. But I think personally, I believe that people who are up there who actually had influence over people, they're the evil. And people who are secondary, third, believing that like that was true are less evil, because it's just, like they don't control the narrative. Sometimes the people who control the narrative have the evil, like, puppeteering powers, and those people are the people who should pay for that. Like it's really not cool to like just control everybody, and it's like, oh, everybody was in on it. No, it's not. It's you who had the power to control other people, and that you did that knowingly.
Absolutely. And like the technology to be like, well, you own whatever, right? If you own a piece of music, you own a piece of art, whether it's some kind of digital asset. I understand the technology is there, and it's like, okay, well, we can show some kind of ownership. It doesn't have to just be a piece of paper. I own the rights to this, that. Okay, it's public, it's available, fine. But like trying to sell people on these digital collectibles, and like I see these, and like, it's the same thing with the trading cards. I'm like, dude, I've been through it. I've been through it all. I watched it come, I watch it go, I watch it come again. And I'm in the phase of my life where I'm like, if you like collecting cards, collect cards. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you think you're like gonna get rich off of this, last weekend we went out and like there was all these like flea markets happening around the city here. And the amount of kids with like their entire Pokemon cards, like they're like, oh yeah, like, here's my whole collection of cards. It's $5. I'm like, yeah, that's what it's worth. It's worth $5. It's not worth anything. Like,
yeah.
So.
Yeah, and then with the kids, like, it's a little more evil, especially.
Well,
like,
if they're just playing the game,
yeah, exactly.
it's fine.
Yeah, it's fun. It's for them to like try and get the rare card and win cards off of your group of friends or whatever. Like, it's fun. And when you put like artificial monetary, like actual like meaningful amount of money on it, that's really evil.
Yeah. So I mean, it's all commodities markets, and like all these investors are just trying to find other ways to like sucker somebody in. Like retro video games has seen it big time in the last couple of years.
Right.
And like the prices are just stupid. They're so stupid that I'm like, I collected games, but I was never hardcore. Like I would never really spend more than like $30-$40 on like an old game. To be fair, I would spend more money on the new game that I would never play. But
do you lose like how the value of nostalgia and how the value of like like wanting to own it?
Yeah.
And that's fine. I think that the negativity of this comes in when it's like, oh, I'm going to buy it so that I can flip it 2 years later for way more money.
Right. And like if you're a professional like scammer in that world, yeah, it might work for you. But unless you're a pro in that world, it ain't gonna work out for you. It's just not.
Yeah.
So
it's also like the type of people who just buy sneakers, like have like like have a bot set up to buy sneakers so that they can turn around and sell it for much more money after. Like, it's just nonsense.
Yeah.
It's so unproductive for you to be doing that.
Like, you might win. Like, I wonder what the average is. Like, look, I get it that there's a top 1% of those guys that are making money. But, like, the rest of you, like, come on. Like, if you're constantly buying sneakers, like, there's some sneakers you might make $100 on, right?
Yeah, it's not going to change your life.
Right. It's not. Go, like, literally just work a job for a couple more hours and you've made that much money, right? And then you're not risking, like, buying other inventory that you might have to take a loss on.
Yeah.
Like, not every sneaker is going to be a winner.
And then you're building your, you're working towards something. Yeah. You're gaining experience. You're,
Yeah.
It's just like selling sneakers off the internet isn't going to bump up your resume.
Right. So, anyways, there's a little bit of rant time for you guys there, and my disdain for the NFT scammers that were out there,
especially in clothing.
Yeah, our industry was rife with filth They are the filth. All those major industries, all these big brands that were selling NFTs, these luxury brands that were selling NFTs, instead of selling you a purse, they sold you an NFT.
Fake purse. Like imaginary purse. Yeah. That is the worst. Like, our industry doesn't exist without us being like, it's not like a video game industry. Video game industry is all based off of things that are just floating in the air.
Like, I'm gonna be able to take that person to the metaverse. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's like, did you see that metaverse stuff? Like, right at the beginning, I'm like, yo, what are we on, like Nintendo Wii? Like, like the little Nintendo. I'm like, they look like Mii's. I'm like, what did we go back freaking 12 years? I'm like, nobody's interested. None of you got. I'm like, and the other thing I was like, there is Second Life. Like, there's all like these like big MMO games. I'm like, those already exist.
Like,
and like
decades.
Yeah, and there's no as much as they have big audiences, maybe millions of users. Like, it ain't mainstream. It isn't Facebook. It isn't Coca-Cola, and it's never gonna be that way. So the idea that you're going hard on this, to me, was insane. I could have saved those companies. I could have saved Facebook billions of dollars. And just been like, been in that meeting and been like, guys, put the brakes on this one.
I hope they're regretting them changing their name to permanently associate themselves from, to that disaster.
Yeah. Everyone's like, NFT is dead. I'm like, it was dead on arrival, guys. It was dead on arrival. Yeah. Matthew Bradwell, yo, can we get a Naked and Famous hat or mug that says rife with filth? That was beautiful. Yeah. Look, let me tell you something. The fashion industry isn't filled with the most intelligent people in the world. I'll tell you this right now. There are some smart people, but mostly there's a lot of vain, stupid, dumb people who...
I think that's a well-known fact.
I don't know if they know that.
Yes, they do know that.
They will hop onto any trend that is popular. They have no idea of what they believe in. They believe in whatever the new hot thing is. Like, they will not have an opinion on something for themselves until it is popular, and then they're on to the next popular idea. Whatever artist is cool is whatever artist is cool to them. Whatever restaurant is great is like, oh yeah, I've loved that place for so long. I mean, I've learned about it 6 weeks ago from some other cool guy.
No, I mean, there is a real value to that, where it's like you get cool people to like something, and then that generates, interest in that, and then you make actual money off of that. Like, the cool people culture, like, that's what's carrying on the fashion industry. And I actually don't see a problem with that. It's just that when you get into, like,
when you go into a party and you're around these people and you're listening to them talk and you're like, you guys live on freaking planet Mars. Like, nobody cares about what you're talking about right now.
When they make it about, like, oh, this is like, we're actually making a, difference in the world. Like, no, you're not. You're just trying to be cool and sell a few things, or, sell your image, or,
trying to make yourself so self-important.
Yeah, it's like, no. We're not like solving world problems here.
Lee Shang style. How much of Zoolander jokes about the fashion industry was true? It was a documentary. Zoolander was a documentary. It wasn't a comedy. It's a documentary about exactly what the industry is like.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with, like, being vain and, like, spending money that you don't need to spend or whatever. Like, it's fun. It's all fun. I hate it when people are like, I'm saving
the self-importance part of it is just, it drives me nuts. Okay, anyways, there's a couple of rants for you there. I hope you enjoyed them. Let's get on to some previews, guys. We've got some good stuff to show off today, and we're going to start off that box over there. We're going to pull out a couple. We got Raised by Wolves, Naked and Famous Denim.
This is the world premiere.
World premiere. Naked and Famous Denim, Raised by Wolves, 15-year anniversary. Their 15-year anniversary. Our 15-year anniversary. This isn't our 15th anniversary gene. There is still a 15-year anniversary gene to come. But this is our collaboration Raised by Wolves 15-year anniversary gene. And we got it right here. Bam, biggity bam. Biggity Bam, Raised by Wolves, Naked Famous Denim. One thing you might not see on the pocket, you can see there's a gloss print on there. You can see it. Yeah. It says flip the cuff to flip them off. And it came out quite nicely, I think. Beautiful, beautiful leather patch, highly detailed. You've got the Naked Famous Denim tragic blonde with the wolves from Raised by Wolves together. And I really love the way that this all came out. Artist, our good friend Andy Belanger, the same guy who did the Elvira patch for us. So he's been doing a lot of work for us lately. I think these ones came out beautifully. And let's take a look at the denim itself. Dark indigo on the outside. Black weft on the inside. It's hard. It might look black, but it's actually indigo. So indigo by black, midnight edition, Naked and Famous Denim, Raised by Wolves patch over here. And we have the vulgarity is back in full force, uncensored, and just straight to the point. Let's get the cuff rolling over here. Just straight to the point, everybody. You know what it is. Tell them how you feel. Raised by Wolf style. This is their kind of motto. They use this on a lot of their products. We have socks and stuff from them. We have a doormat. Our doormat at home is this. So when you come over, it tells you exactly what to do. This is going to be coming out November 3rd. Friday, November 3rd. This is the new Raised by Wolves 15-year anniversary indigo by black denim. And yeah, we've got it. So it'll be available. Super Guy, Weird Guy, Easy Guy, True Guy, Chore Coat. So we're going to have a Chore Coat option available here. And the Chore Coat looks sick because it has the F off all the way down here. Yeah. It looks great. So that is the world premiere. Naked and Famous Denim, Raised by Wolves, 15-year anniversary collaboration. It's their 15-year. It's our 15-year anniversary. We're doing it right. Double Canadian collaboration. Our good friends. They were one of the first people I met when I moved to Montreal back in the day, and I'm glad that we have this one. Mm-hmm. This is a great one. Our first one sold like gangbusters. Gangbusters, and we're gonna do it again with this one here. So, hope you enjoy this one. What do we got in the chat?
Mine says, "How rude."
Huh? How rude? Yeah. It's a rude gene. Rude. Bad dude with the rude tude. That's it. You can be a bad dude with a rude tude with these jeans. Mateo Donnie writes, who are Raised by Wolves? Raised by Wolves is a streetwear. I would put them in the streetwear category of things. They are Canadian based from Ottawa. And we carry some of their stuff at Tate and Yoko. You can go on their website. You can learn a little bit more about them that way. But like sweatshirts, fleeces, caps, beanies, skateboards, all kinds of stuff. Great guys. Yeah. All right. Santiago Gallardo writes, what about the Dia de los Muertos? It's in the works. Actually, on Tuesday, I'm gonna put on my Canadian accent there, right? And we're gonna talk about the Dia de los Muertos denim in a Canadian accent. No, I can't.
It's more like a voice than an accent.
No, that's how.
No.
Yeah, you gotta drag out your letters. It's going to be coming next fall. So the fabric is developed. The leather patch and the artwork is being confirmed on Tuesday. So it's going to be...
Very exciting.
I will show it off once we have it all confirmed and everything.
Is it going to have the colors on Tuesday?
Ooh. Yeah, it should be done on Tuesday. So, well, as done as... there might be one more review after that, but we're working with an amazing tattoo artist from Mexico. I used all my contacts to try and find the right person, and luckily, we sell to a store in Mexico City called Casa Denim.
Very nice.
Very, very. some of the nicest people that we deal with in the entire industry. Great store. They're holding it down for raw denim in Mexico. And they introduced me to a design company that they work with, and they helped us find this artist. It's going to look really cool. I specifically wanted to have a Mexican artist do the artwork. We've got Mexican artwork. We've got Mexican cotton, Japanese denim, made in Canada. It's a lot of things going on. And also, you know what I'm going to do for the pocket flasher? All Mexican. Like it'll have only Spanish text. Yeah, I won't even have English on there. So it'll be like a real. It's gonna look like. It's
gonna be a little confusing.
No, it'll be fine. Everyone will understand.
If we like on the flipped side, and the flasher has like a translation, like a subtitle thing.
Maybe. Yeah.
Because we need to know what it says.
Well, I mean, you'll see. I think you can 16-ounce Japanese denim, you're gonna figure it out. Yeah. I mean, the product copy on the website will be in English, but the pocket flasher will be all in Spanish.
Yeah. I'm sure Selvedge is Selvedge in Spanish, right?
Yeah. So these are gonna be available next October. So it will be in line with the Dia de los Muertos. So
next year, 2024. Yeah.
So it's coming. The Raven. I'm not Mexican, but I am Latino, and this sounds awesome. I think it's great.
The artwork, it's just like the vibe of that. The whole culture is amazing.
The all of the icons that go with it, the colors. It's really speaks to this denim. And, we've done the Chinese New Year, and we're going to continue with the Chinese New Year every year. I just thought it would be kind of cool to look at another holiday and do another holiday themed jean and, use all those, themes.
Yeah. I mean, we deal with dark indigo jeans all day, every day. So like a pop of, bright colors would be very nice.
In fact, the cotton was not as, because Japan doesn't import a lot of Mexican cotton, they had to import it specifically for us for this one. So, we're doing it. We're doing it right. I think. I think it's gonna be a good story. I think people enjoy it. We have. I'm sure we have a lot of Latin fans out there. So this is one for you guys, and of course anybody who can appreciate it as well. Anyways, this is another holiday theme jean. I'm sure we could do some more. There's many holidays in the world that we can celebrate, and we'll get there. So the idea with the Dia de los Muertos denim will be that it's going to be an annual thing. So it comes out every fall winter, and we will update the leather patch and the pocket flasher. So
it's like Chinese New Year series. Yeah.
But we'll focus on different artists, and we also want to tell the story of the artists when we promote the jeans as well. So I think it'll have a good tie in that respect. Okay, Pedro, my number one gripe with this brand: y'all release too many cool jeans. Yeesh. Keep it up, you two.
Yes.
We do release a lot of jeans. It doesn't allow us to sleep a lot. I'll tell you that much.
But there's right jeans for everybody.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. There's a lot of folks out there, so we try to make things for all of you wonderful raw denim lovers out there.
Some people said we need a Canadian accent stream. I think they want to hear your Canadian accent.
You want to hear my Canadian accent? You know who has a great Canadian accent? I forget his name. That Canadian YouTuber does all the news.
JJ.
JJ McCullough.
But he's also not like, okay, so in my head, Canadian accent is like a Minnesota accent, like
a little bit
kind of vibes. But he doesn't have that. He just have like.
Oh, he does.
Does he?
I hear his Canadian accent.
He does say a boat a lot. A boot.
Yeah.
I can't even say it. A boot.
I do not know how to spell his name?
JJ Canada.
Yeah, let's look him up. There he is. This guy, he has a great YouTube channel. If you ever want to learn more about Canada and what's going on in Canada, just look up good old JJ here. He's a good Canadian boy, good Canadian accent, and he has a lot of fun and interesting opinions.
Great mustache too.
And a handsome mustache. That is very true. Yeah, I like JJ. He holds it down for Canada land, Canada. There you go. There you go. BD, my wife says Risa knows the accent. Apparently, that's my accent, and my wife says it really gets strong when I talk to folks back home.
Really?
Home.
Your wife is not Canadian, eh?
Eh?
Eh? Maybe. I don't know. I can't. I'm not very good at like identifying accents, to be honest. It's like, English is my second language, so I can't. Sometimes I can't tell the difference between Australian accent and British accent too. Like a certain British accent sounds sometimes Australian.
Yeah, that's true. Max says Canadian accents are really varied. I'm from the GTA, and Bayzat sounds really local to the 905416. But
I don't hear any accent from you.
Right, I have the Northeast accent. That is to me English. That is standard. That is movie, the movies media accent.
Right.
Right.
But it's not I guess it's an accent.
But you can get hyper localized accents immigrating from boroughs like Scarborough. Well,
really?
Yeah, I mean.
Can you tell?
I mean, I think it's because it depends who you grew up with, right? Like, especially with the slang that you use or the slang that you understand.
Right.
And especially now, like, sometimes I'll see on YouTube, there's like a guy called Toronto Guy, and he's kind of like has this Jamaican. Because there's a lot of Caribbean people in in Toronto, Mississauga. Sometimes you pick up some of those mannerisms as well, especially if you're young and you're hanging it out, you're growing up with people like that. So like, Jamaican slang and stuff like that. Like I grew up all around that. So I'm not gonna throw out my Jamaican accent, but I think I do a pretty good one. And I think a lot of people from Toronto can do it because there's just so much Jamaican activity going on.
But that's Jamaican accent. That's not like...
Yeah, but you know the slang, you know the words. Like
Is it specifically the Canadian style Jamaican thing? So
they're from the islands. They're from the Caribbean.
So that's just,
Yeah. Drake totally co-opted the Scarborough man's accent. LOL. I wouldn't know, but Max says Toronto man's. Yeah. They say guy a lot. Yeah, guy. And kissing your teeth.
But again, that's just, that's a Jamaican accent. It's not necessarily a Canadian accent.
Yeah. It's not, but it is because Canada is the melting pot of many, many cultures.
Yeah, but that's like saying like Indian accents are also Canadian accents. But it's an Indian accent.
But it could be, in some of them, like there are boroughs that are very heavily from the Middle East.
Yes,
so like I think over time you'll have maybe version of a Canadian accent.
Like
it's kind of like Hong Kong English. Like when people grew up in Hong Kong and they speak English, they kind of have a British accent, but it's kind of very Hong Kong.
Right.
Or like I know people who grew up and they went to international school and they have an international school accent. And you can tell because there's like just a little ounce of English accent in there, right? Even though they're American, they went to school in Singapore, international school, they somehow came out sounding a little British.
That's
little
true.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Mac writes, guy, kissing teeth equals set up still. Yeah. Mateo, does Japan have strong regional accents?
Yes. Like the most like very like easy to tell is the Western accent. So like the Western Japan, Osaka, like Kyoto. Like Osaka and Kyoto have very strong different accent, even though they're like so close. But like the general like Western part, Kansai part of Japan has its own accent. And they have even like their own words. Like the words that they use are sometimes very different from Tokyo like words or Eastern words. But we like it's so like you know a lot of media, like a lot of like comedy and like a lot of like art people come from the west of Japan too. Like it's a big population. It's it's around Osaka, so we can all recognize it. We just like we know that word. Like say for instance, thank you is a different word, and we can like we know that word even though we don't use it in our like daily life. And some people lose their accent like completely. There are people who come from like Osaka who lived in Tokyo for like 5 years, and they're completely like unrecognizable as an Osaka person. On the other hand, there are people who lived in Tokyo for 20 years from Osaka, and you can tell that they're from Osaka.
Right. But like like even in Canada, sometimes you'll know where you're from depending on whether or not you say pop or soda.
Right.
In Toronto, we use pop.
Yeah.
And when I moved to Montreal, everyone's calling it a soda, and I'm calling it a pop, and they're like, "Why are you saying it like that?"
Right.
And
I started calling washrooms because I lived in Canada for a long time.
Yeah. Or like Metro versus Subway. If you're in Toronto, you call it Subway. If you're anywhere else in the world, it's the Metro. New York City Subway, Toronto Subway, Montreal Metro.
I think that's interchangeable.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just find that Toronto mans don't use the word Metro very much, or at all. Yeah. What else what are some other very specific Toronto things?
I don't know.
Yeah. I would go at, just trying to remember, with pop. It was like slice and a pop, patty and a pop, cocoa patty and a pop. Cocoa patty and a pop was my lunch. Or my after work meal. That's just a great meal.
But so
Jamaican beef patty, cocoa bun, soda, good to go. Get it at Islington Station at the had like a little Vietnamese run. It was funny because it was like a Vietnamese run donut shop, and they had just really good cocoa patty and a pop.
And like I found it interesting because BD says that like his wife is from Northern Ontario. Southern Ontario, Northern Ontario, the difference. And it's like, I didn't know that there's that much difference between like Northern Ontario.
Yeah, rural Ontario.
Oh, so Northern Ontario is a little bit more rural.
Well, Ontario goes up high. So like how north are we talking? Like Hudson Bay north?
I have no idea. But so like their accent's a little bit more like more less like accents that I'm used to.
They're more like, I would say more
Canadian.
More Canadian. Yeah, when you think Canadian, like Bob and Doug. Yeah. Okay. Matthew Bradwell had a math teacher from Vietnam who learned English in Canada. He talked with a thick Vietnamese accent, but ended every sentence in a and said a bit instead of about. And called everyone guy. I knew. I find that Vietnamese guys say guy a lot.
Really?
Yeah. That was. I grew up with a lot of it. You know, where I grew up in Mississauga, I've showed you my yearbook. Like there were, I think my high school had like 5 white kids in it. There weren't. There was. We had a lot of people from the Caribbean. I would say like over 50% of the school. I don't know how to break the demographics down, but it was like India, Pakistani, Middle Eastern, and then people from the Caribbean, West Indies, Trinidad, and we had like a handful of like East Asia, like but Chinese, Vietnamese, some Koreans. And then those two groups were split up into like what we called the FOBs, the fresh off the boats, like the people who are like they just moved here, and then like the Canadian born. And so those were the demographics. And then, you'd have a couple of random white kids and you'd be like, where did you come from? And this was in the 90s. We had our high school and our area, there was a lot of new immigration, in general. And our high school specifically, we had a very good ESL program. Mm-hmm. So even if you were from outside of the region, they would send you there to learn English. So, yeah. So we grew up with so many different kinds of people. Yeah. There's a lot of like Canadian life stuff that I didn't know until like after high school, because I wasn't around, a lot of like really native Canadians for a while. So anyways, that was my high school experience. Okay. Mac, I'm guessing you you got it right. You got it right 100%. I'm guessing you might have went to T.L. Kennedy or John Fraser. Yeah, I went to T.L. Kennedy. He knows. Like, we know.
I mean, there can't be that many schools.
Our school is a little notorious also for being a little rough.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, people are like, you went to TL? I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh, all right. Anyways, 6th, Trill, Cosby, and BD getting us back on track. Did you already talk about and show the Elvira collab? Elvira will show a little bit more today, but let's get into Snowy.
Get into Snowy, huh? He knows.
Snowy knows. He's taking a nap on the couch over there. Okay, let's do it.
All right, Snowy. He's not interested in promoting these jeans at this time.
Yeah, but we are. So here's the Snowy Selvedge dedicated to our loving cat, Snowy. It's a Matsuri denim with gray and black, just like Snowy's color. So you've got this beautiful streaky tone denim. I think it looks quite striking. And of course, it matches our lovely Mr. Snowy, the cat, quite perfectly. This coming Black Friday, we're going to be releasing a bunch of, I would say, classic Naked and Famous Denim options. And when I mean classic, I mean the wild and crazy stuff that if you've been around Naked and Famous for a long time, you might remember, us doing a little bit more of this. I would say that over the years, things have kind of tamed down a little bit.
I think it became more technical.
Yeah.
Milk Selvedge. It looks normal, but it's milk protein. Or color core.
Yeah. These were the kinds of things that we would do for like Barney's. Because like Barney's would be like, we want your craziest. And we're like
eye-catching. Whoa, I've never seen this kind of things before kind of thing. Yeah.
So these are part of that. So this is the Snowy Selvedge.
Yeah, and I don't know what the Selvedge is.
Red line.
Red line?
Yeah.
Classic red line. All right.
So we got the classic red line there as well. So these are all going to be, we're going to have these. We're going to have the Copperhead Selvedge.
Oh, yeah. This one.
The Matsuri. We'll show this one off.
This is also very classic.
So if you follow Brandon on Instagram, you might have seen he posted a photo of this. And so it's got this crazy multicolor nep on the outside of the fabric. And we've got this incredible colorful inside. So you can see that right here. Super, super colorful and fun. And these are going to be available for Black Friday. We're going to have just an entire collection of crazy Naked and Famous Denim options coming out again.
Let's recap really quick.
I just want to add before that, you know why these are quote unquote throwback models? Because these fabrics have been with us for that long. These are out of our archives. We've had these fabrics in our back pocket for a long time, and now we're just unleashing them to the world.
So regular fall winter 23 collection is something that we a new fabric that we developed, and we collected orders from wholesale customers and stuff like that. So those are there, just available for everybody. Whereas these ones are limited fabric stocks. Yeah. So we just made whatever we had and we made it into.
Yeah. Someone was asking about the weight of the Matsuri, 15 ounce. Yeah.
It doesn't feel that way because I think it's just it's soft.
It's just dense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one is the Copperhead Selvedge.
Yeah.
Oh, today we can really see the
sparkle coming through. If you pull it back,
yeah, you
can see. You don't really see it.
In real like eyes too. Like if it's like this far, it's hard to see.
Yeah, but when you get close to it and in the right light, then you really see the sparkle. Like when you might get this out of the package and pick it up and be like, "Whoa, that's sparkly."
Yeah,
you put it on.
Yeah.
The people who like see you from far won't notice it. When they see you from close, they will.
Yeah.
These are, I think, going to be fun for the holidays.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
it's subtle enough, but it's very like different.
Yeah, it's out there. You know what?
Glittery.
A good friend of mine, Michael, he messaged me the other day because he saw the live stream and he's like, "Are those the twisted copper wefts you guys did like years ago?" And I'm like, "Twisted copper weft." And then I had to Google it, and it is. I just, back, I think it was like 2015, we did these for Barney's. And I guess we had some of the fabric left. But I totally forgot. I totally forgot about it, which is why it has a new name. But it is one of those like crazy Barney options that we did for back in the day. And anyways, it's back again.
Secret line here, too.
Yeah. So... this is back, and I just have to say that like we've made a lot of jeans over the years, so I definitely don't remember everything. But the collective mind of the internet remembers everything, so I appreciate that about you guys. Jordan writes, Copperhead and Groovy Guy. I'm gonna say no, it's not gonna be in the Groovy Guy. The Raven writes, Barney, like the dinosaur. No, like the once prolific department store Barney's.
Yeah, now it's a part of the dinosaur group.
Right. I guess it is more like the dinosaur than we like to think. Although there is still Barney's New York, Japan.
Yes.
Somehow.
I think they may be soon out. I don't remember.
But it's odd. Sometimes we'll walk. It's been a while, but I remember walking by and being like, oh, Barney's. Anyways, it used to be a very big thing in America. Now, speaking of Le Groovy Guy, did we publish it yet?
No, so the Groovy Guy is not going to be published today.
So there's a black Groovy Guy, solid black Selvedge Groovy Guy coming out maybe over the weekend. Anyways, they're doing the measurements. As soon as the measurements are done, you can publish it.
Maybe Monday, because I wouldn't know when it's done,
Yeah, Monday's a holiday in Canada.
Right, but we can still do it. I can check it.
Oh, yeah.
I just need to, know the measurements are done first, and then I can publish it. The products are there, but, the inventory is not published yet.
So it's coming. Anyways.
This weekend, the measurements are going to come out. So if we want to check out the measurements first, we can do that this weekend. And hopefully by Monday, we can have the inventory available as well.
How about we do that? How about after the stream, we publish the products?
The products are published.
Oh, you can see it on the website already?
Yes.
Okay, so go to the website. You can see it. I didn't even know that. Let me see here. Let me go to Tate and Yoko. Groovy Groovy Guy. You have to be a Groovy Guy. Oh, yes, there it is. Let's take a look at that, everybody. Groovy Guy, solid black Selvedge is here. So you can see the photographics.
Yeah.
Look at how cool that looks. Finally, sorry it took forever, but they are here. If you want a Groovy Guy option.
In black.
Yeah. They look really cool. All black. We're just waiting for those measurements, so I guess our guys are going to handle it over the weekend. And then as soon as that's done, likely by Monday, we'll have the inventory available on the website.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that's going to happen. And left-hand 12 blanket, lined denim jacket. Lined denim jacket and left-hand 12 with the blanket interior.
Yeah.
The measurements are done. So I can publish the inventory maybe after this.
Okay, so hold on. Let's pull that up so people know what we is talking about. I
want to Google the...
there it is. Okay,
yeah.
Bang. So lined denim jacket, left-hand twill Selvedge. So it's our classic left-hand twill, but with a beautiful blanket lining on the inside. So we've done triple lined versions of this jacket before. Now we're doing a blanket-lined version of it this time. So you got the Selvedge, you got that beautiful warm blanket, a great jacket, and so there you have it. The collar looks a little funny here, but it'll look great on you. It'll look that good. Check that out. So that's the blanket-lined denim jacket. And Risa says she'll be able to publish it. Oh, yeah, there's the measurements. No extra smalls. But I guess we can get the inventory up after the live stream. So watch out for the groovy guy. Jovi writes, I remember last stream you mentioned that the Akuma Trunks fabric making a comeback. Any info on that? Yeah, coming for fall, winter 24. Fall winter 24. It's making a comeback. We are bringing it back.
Let's look at Elvira.
Let's look at Elvira. We're going to do one more preview for today. And, yeah. The Raven, Bays and Reese, are you taking part in the Indigo Invitational Year 4? I don't know. When
is it starting?
I don't know exactly when it starts. I'm sure it's coming up. I will, no matter what, I will always spiritually support it. But I'm working on my dirty fades. I don't know if I want to start working on another pair of jeans right now. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. But anyhow, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, Selvedge, Naked and Famous Denim, Elvira, together at last. Another spooky creature, spooky individual to join our horror-themed collection. We've had the Toxic Avenger. We've had Jason Voorhees. We've had Freddy Krueger. Now we've got Elvira entering the mix. So this is going to be available soon. It was supposed to be this coming Friday, but
Friday the 13th.
Yeah, it was supposed to be. That's not happening as of now. Just not all the production has arrived yet. So I will just stay tuned. We'll get a formal announcement soon. But you can see here, it's got that beautiful leather patch designed by our good friend Andy Belanger, and same goes with the pocket flusher here as well. It's a dark indigo 16-ounce slubby denim. You can see, the indigo, thicker in some parts, thinner in the others, and you can see a little bit of that purple coming through. From far, it looks quite dark. From close, you see a little bit more of it. It's kind of got a little bit of a purplish hue to it, but but the inside is where a lot of the magic happens here. And that is, you get this nice, rich, dark purple weft. And then the Selvedge ID, which I think is really cool, is a mix of the indigo warp and the purple weft. So the indigo part of the Selvedge ID is actually going to fade. So you've got a fading Selvedge ID that'll match the fading part, like the front face of the fabric. A lot of good stuff happening here. 16-ounce, heavier weight, big slub, purple wefted denim. So more purple this month.
Yeah.
More Barney the Dinosaur, but not Barney the Dinosaur. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
And it's this sample doesn't have it, but the
pocket bags will be printed. Yeah. My sample did not arrive with the proper pocket bag. So yeah.
But there'll be Elvira's face.
Yeah, we'll have a portrait of her.
Yeah.
Lot sample 23. I'm just looking at the tag. Juan Puedo, Elvira the Dinosaur. Not quite. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Mistress of the Dark. Leonardo Roca writes, can you guys do a black warp FoxFibre weft denim? Definitely possible. Definitely something we will do at some point. There will be
something we will do at some point.
Just be aware, anyways, FoxFibre products will be pricey.
The yarns are pricey.
Yeah.
Cotton's pricey.
Cotton's pricey.
But you can, I think you can understand if you learn about FoxFibre, you can understand why.
Yeah, but we will, regardless. This, I would say that the price points for them are going to be a little bit above the typical Naked and Famous range, but we think it's important to do this and tell the story and use this type of cotton. So we're gonna really invest in creating FoxFibre options for you to create some more unique and rare denim fabrics for all. Clobber Online writes, a black cashmere blend. We have one.
Yeah.
Black cat. I don't know if it's in stock.
But yeah. We did that for
her. Yeah. Jap27 writes, I love my FoxFibre sweats so much. Worth the price. We're glad that you're enjoying them. Reese has been wearing them like nonstop.
Yeah, it is very comfortable.
Yeah. It's finally cool here in Japan.
Yeah, it's just like a flip of a switch.
Yeah.
It's suddenly a fall.
Finally, we don't have to like crank the AC. Yeah. Juan Puedo Pagoda die coming soon. It's on hopefully by the end of the year.
Yeah.
There's still a lot to come.
Yeah.
And
same thing with Black Comfort. I saw somebody asked. Yeah. Black Comfort, Pagoda. There's what else is coming?
King of Slub 2.
King of Slub 2.
Yeah, 15-year anniversary.
Right. That one is going to be closer to the end of the year. Yeah.
We're basically busy until 2029. So,
yeah.
Who needs sleep? Nobody. Okay. Guys, we're gonna call it. Mm-hmm. I don't think we have snack time today. I don't think I think I left the house on Monday and that was it. But
well, it's also that I don't know, the strange, interesting snack market is I don't know.
Sometimes
not doing so well.
We're gonna go hunting. We're gonna find something. Don't worry. Next week we'll be back, better than ever. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. If you thought this live stream was good, wait till you see next week's, guys. It's gonna be so way better, incredibly better. If this was a 9 out of 10 for you, next week's you want to tune in for sure. So I'm overpromising. And you're going to get... I'm not even over-promising. I'm delivering.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Call me the delivery man because you're going to get a jam-packed live stream next week with even more rants, maybe even some stronger hot takes. And trigger me, trigger me in the comments. We'll see what we can do there. We're going to answer one more question. Jeremy Didson says, "What's the pocket flasher she just packed up?" Oh, that's the Raised by Wolves.
Yeah.
If you missed it,
you can go back.
You can go back and watch it in the live stream. Okay. Juan Puedo, give me a B-Day shout out next week. You got it.
All
Just remind me because I'm going to forget. But you got it. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for spending your evening here with us. We appreciate it. And we can't wait to be back next week to do it all over again. Be nice to yourselves. Do something nice for yourself. Do something nice for somebody else. And we'll see you guys next time. All right. Bye, everyone.